Glory be to Jesus Christ.
Glory forever.
Glory forever.
I'm so happy to see all of you. And I would like to introduce to you our new lecturer, Yuriy Pylypchak. Yuriy is a director of Archieparchy of Philadelphia's Commission on Human Life and Dignity. Yuriy received an excellent education in theology and bioethics in Ukraine and Rome. At the present time, he works as a palliative care chaplain. Yuriy, please tell about yourself more few words.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here today with you. About myself, it's true. My name is Yuriy Pylypchak. Let's start from this. I've been in America already 7 years, and yes, I did my theological study. I finished seminary. It's at Ternopilska Zborivska Seminaria in Ternopil in Ukraine. After that, I went to Italy, where I received my master degree in bioethics in Ateneum Pontificio Regina Apostolorum. And after that, I continue my study in bioethics, and I moved with my wife to America. Like it was almost like 8 years ago. In January, it will be 8 years. And at the recent moment, and this moment that I'm working already as a chaplain in Shady Grove Adventist Hospital. It's an Adventist healthcare system in here in the East Coast in Maryland. And I work here for 6 years as a chaplain, and I am part as a chaplain in the hospital. I am part of palliative care team, and plus I am also chaplain and part of the ethical committee in the hospital, and also for the system in Adventist healthcare here in this region. That I really enjoy this this time. It's very important, and I think I found very valuable, and it brought me a lot of good experience in my life. And now at this moment that I have my 2 beautiful daughters. If you will hear them to scream, I'm so sorry, I apologize. It's at the beginning. I ask them to don't come to me, but like, you know, they are 4 and 5 years old, and sometimes that like what you're asking them not to do, they're doing. Yeah, this is it's a little bit about myself and then about my experience. I will definitely share with you more experience, and I'm really glad to be with you in this moment. I know that like I have my accent. Please, if something that I have to repeat or I have to use some other word to be more clear, let me know anytime. I know that like, we are going to join together 5 sections, and it will be about bioethics and all different kind of healthcare ethical issue in a healthcare. I think that like we are ready to start. I think so. If I can ask around everyone who is participating in this course, if you can tell me your name, what are you doing, and maybe 1, 2 words, couple words, what really are you looking forward to take from this course, from this bioethics course? Everyone can start.
I can start.
Please.
Okay, proszę. Hi, everybody. I'm Stephen Schmaltz. I am with St. Volodymyr Ukrainian Catholic Church in Flint, Michigan. Even though I live in a different town, I'm a teacher of English as a second language for grades kindergarten through 12th grade. And I also work at a Polish Catholic funeral home. That's why I'm dressed up, because it's my Saturday to work. And also, I was one parish cantor for almost 19 years. So, and I'm part of the diaconal program of Mission Institute.
Very nice. Thank you. Okay, and I can go next. And so, hi, everyone. So I'm Andrew. Actually, I'm in the church right now using Father's office, and so definitely praying and study together. So I'm from Our Lady of Savanitsia, Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church in Seattle. And I work for a local nonprofit organization called the United Way, and that's my life outside of the church. And so for this class, I really would like to learn more about how the church react to all the changes in our current world situation, and also how we as Catholics need to be equipped when facing all those challenges and how we should respond as well. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Glory to Jesus Christ. I'm Nicholas Mattier. I'm with the Austin Ukrainian Catholic Apostolate in Austin, Texas. I live in San Antonio, Texas, where I'm a school teacher. I actually teach Latin mainly. I'm part of the diaconal program here at the Mission Institute, and I've done a lot of pro-life work and just want to learn more about that kind of thing. And my wife is a retired nurse, and my oldest daughter has a genetic syndrome, and we were told to abort her by our genetic counselor when she was in the womb. So just learn more about stuff like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Christopher. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, my name's Christopher Scheck. I am with Nativity of Christ Mission in Portland, Oregon, and the Nativity of Mother of God parish in Eugene area. I am a school teacher by trade. I am in the fourth year of the diaconal study program. And just like Andrew, the world seems to be changing so rapidly around us, especially on these issues and moral issues. And how do we hold to the traditional viewpoint of man, woman, of biological morals as well. So that's an area of struggle that I see in the world and would like to grow in knowledge in that. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm Christina Abuchristia Jermoha from Minnesota. I belong to St. Constantine Church, and I love singing in that choir. And it started because I sing in the choir. I became very active in singing in the church and learning, and I want to learn how to be a cantor. So I've been studying that, but in the meantime, I'm learning a lot more than I thought I would be with the Bible studies we've had in history and now with this course. And I agree with what everyone's saying, how important it is to know these challenging issues that we have, how to handle that. So thank you.
Thank you, Grete.
My name is Nick Medelsky. I'm in the fourth year of the Deacon program. I was ordained reader this past May. I'm at St. Constantine here in Minneapolis. I work for a Catholic radio station here in Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Wyoming. And I'm just excited to see what's in the course.
Thank you.
I'm Yuriy Ivan. I'm also from Minnesota. All three of us in a row. I'm a musician by trade, and I'm in a diaconal program. And I'm just interested to learn about all these challenges. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Katya. I'm from Chicago area, and this is my first year of studying and my first lection. So I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Bogdan Monastirski. I belong to the St. Andrew Parish in Sacramento, California. I work as analyst for state. And my expectation, I am on the second year of diaconate studies, and expectations from this course quite a lot, because I'm interested in biology. I have some background with biology, and these bioethics issues and moral issues. It's quite interesting for me. So thank you. Quite a lot of expectations.
Hello, my name is David Voloshin. I'm from the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary Ukrainian Catholic Church in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm a third year diaconal student. In the world, I'm a welder and a maintenance technician at a rendering plant. What I'm expecting to learn from this course is there's a lot of issues that I never really got a clear church teaching on, so I kind of stayed away from. And people would ask me, and I just wouldn't know how to answer. So I would like to know what the church's issues is on some of the stuff, like giving blood, donating body parts, stuff like that, and of course all of the current issues.
Mhm. Thank you.
I'm Ryan Schaefer. I'm part of the diaconate program as well. First year. My home parish is in North Dakota in Belfield. And I have a background at Franciscan University in like theology, philosophy. So I've heard some of, I guess, more of the Roman Catholic, bioethical sort of arguments, information. So I'm wondering if there's differences from the perspective of the East versus Roman Catholic perspective. So, yeah.
Thank you.
My name is Casey Dudek, and I'm living at Holy Transfiguration Monastery right now. I'm discerning a vocation to the religious life. This is my 4th year with the Mission Institute. I'm just looking to boost my education of the Eastern Catholic churches in general, learn how to sing and serve and answer questions people have about the Eastern rites. And I'm interested in learning more about canon law and moral theology issues in this class.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Asa Grant. My home parish is Saints Peter and Paul here in Kalispell, Montana. I train horses for a living, got a wife and 2 kids, and I'm just excited to learn whatever this course has to offer. I'm in my 1st year of diaconal studies.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Stephen Novak. I'm in the 3rd year of diaconal studies here. My home parish is Pokrova Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church in Houston, Texas. And besides being a single man, my hope out of this course is to get the best answers to be able to answer all of the moral questions that the various sheeple have on the street there, so I can be best prepared for that.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Glenn Campbell. That's my middle name, which I go by the Social Security and other folks that know me more by my numbers call me James. I have been cantor at Holy Wisdom Eastern Catholic Church for about 6 years. I'm half trained essentially, and I do have a Master of Divinity from Bethel Seminary, a Baptist school, and I spent a year in Lutheran studies at Concordia Theological Seminary in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and it did not work out for me or my ex-wife, and so after entering the Catholic Church, I fell in love with the Eastern Catholic churches, Byzantine Rite particularly, and I've been sort of tapped for being a cantor, and this looks like a great opportunity to widen my skills base, and I'd like to do, I don't know if it's possible. I don't know anything about the particular ins and outs, but of this group, but I would be interested in majoring in or in doing a double major, as it were, in diaconal studies and as a cantor.
Thank you. Okay, do we have anybody else who didn't?
This is Anthony Holt. Can you hear me? I'm from Belfield, North Dakota. I am driving in central North Dakota right now. I'm a diaconal studies student. I think your question is, what do we hope to take away from the course? I didn't get the introduction. I'm sorry. And I hope to broaden my knowledge of moral theology topics.
Okay, thank you. Okay, it sounds and looks like everyone introduce himself.
Hi, my name is Sean.
Oh, no,
I'm
sorry.
with Holy Wisdom in Sacramento, along with Glenn, who you just met. And I'm a first-year diaconal program student. And I'm interested in the course in part because I studied philosophy in college, and I'd like to compare philosophical ethics with Catholic ethics, Byzantine. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Father Joseph, sorry, Father Joseph, please tell us what do you expect from this course? You unmute. Mute. We can hear you, Father.
You're still mute.
No, we can hear you.
Are you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am Joseph Mai in San Diego, California. As you know, I transfer from other Eastern Orthodox Church into our eparchy, Saint Nicholas. With the eparchy, I am brand new. That is why I would like to learn much as I can from our eparchy to follow right in our direction. That is, I would like to be a student to learning today. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, everyone. It looks like it's everyone has a chance to introduce themselves. Let's start with a prayer. And Father Roman, can I ask you that you can bless us and have a short prayer at the beginning?
Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. Lord, have mercy. Lord, have mercy. Give a blessing. God bless all of us for this course and be with us, and also give us a peace. Amen.
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 Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, I would like to tell you from the beginning that I will share my slides with you, that you can have the slides, and if you would like to take some notes, please feel free to take some notes, but I will share the slides through Father Roman, and he can share with everyone. I try now to share my let me see. My slides. Give me 1 second only. One second, I have some. Okay, I'll try to do, okay. I have here. Yes. Please tell me if you can see my.
Not yet, but has started screen sharing. Oh, yes, we can
You
see.
can see my.
That's better.
Okay, great.
Current model issue. Yeah.
Okay, great. We can start our course, and I would like to thank you, first of all, every one of you to join this class and to join us today. I will do my best. I understand that like you have a lot of expectation, and I'm really glad that like you do have this expectation. I did some classes of bioethics back in Ukraine for seminary, and I did some presentation also here, but I'm also going to learn a lot of stuff with you, and I'm also would like to ask you at the beginning, when you have some ethical case or ethical question, anything that regards our course, and you would like to know more, ask this question, please feel free to do that. You can say it for the public. You can also, I will provide my email in the end. You can email me your also suggestion, or even like some ethics issues that like you been confronted with, and you can text in the group chat anything that like what is important, or anything what is will be helpful for you. Please be open and share. Today we are going to talk about bioethics and current moral issue in bioethics system. This first time today that I would like to introduce you for the conception, what is the bioethics, and when and how this bioethics started, and also I definitely I think it's very important to know different models of bioethics, because as we are going to proceed different case studies, that also I would like to during the classes, I would like to give you some case presentation that I had in the hospital. And these issues that like I approach in the hospital, I would like to also provide to you. Definitely, I will keep all names and everything that can recognize the person in the secret, but I will provide to you some facts and we can discuss it. Please, if you have any question, you can ask anytime. And also today it will be introduction for the entire course of bioethics, and next couple times that we are going to meet together, I would like also to present to you different ethical issue, and like we are talking about the beginning of the life, end of the life, as somebody already mentioned about abortion, also about stem cells, when like we are talking about embryonical stem cells and some research on them. We will talk about also stem cells when they have different potential, like totipotential, pluripotential, multipotential stem cells. What is this means to us? What is this means also when like you look at this situation through the lens of ethical guidance and ethical judgment. Also, I will introduce you to some conception of palliative care and hospice care when we have neonatal environment, when the baby didn't born or has been born on the premature gestation stage. Also, I will try to introduce you some issue with the end of the life situation, that we will have some discussion about euthanasia, assisted suicide, palliative sedation, also advanced directive, most forms, everything that I can consider as autonomy of the patient to respond and to react on some difficult situation, and consensus for also consensus at the end of the life or beginning of the life. This is, it will be our journey during this five times that we are going to meet each other. And please, Father Man, if you can check the time, I will really appreciate it. Sometimes I can forget about the time, and I know we have some limit time, but I will definitely do my best to give everything what I would like to give to you, and share my knowledge, and also learn with you through the course. When we are talking about bioethics, it's interesting that many of you in your introduction, you already mentioned some very important aspect of bioethics. And we already know, and we talk a lot of ethics in the world, and bioethics, it's one of the conception of ethics that we have in the world. And we can find different definitions about what is bioethics is. And the most meaningful definition I wanted to present to you, and one of them is from Encyclopedia of Bioethics in 1978, that present us that bioethics is a systematic study of human conduct in the area of life science and healthcare, insofar as this conduct is examined in the light of moral values and principles. And we already see from this definition that it's very important to take in consideration the human being, the person, and not only in the person, but in the light of different principles and values that it will be important to also mention about them during the course. And I would like to invite you also to think as about bioethics in a little bit different, in a little bit more deep conception. And I really like this National Institute of Environmental Health Science that tells us that bioethics is a study of ethical, social, and legal issues that arise in biomedicine and biomedical research. What is this tells to us? That bioethics includes medical ethics, research ethics, environmental ethics, and public health ethics. And all these components is very important, because we cannot talk about human being or human life only from the physical perspective. When we are talking about the human life, we are talking about physical, we're talking about spiritual perspective, mental perspective. We are talking about also environmental perspective, and how individual life can influence the community or can influence the entire society or environment. This is very important, because as we are talking about bioethics and when the bioethics started, I would like to mention to you that the first term of bioethics has been provided by Potter. And Potter in 1971 in his book mentioned bioethics. He used this term in first time, and he mentions this as equilibrium, as a balance, and also as a bridge between different life forms that we have. And he included environmental ethics, he included the human being, he included different life forms as animals or tree, grass, and all this stuff. And he mentioned that bioethics will become as a bridge between all these life forms. And but we can really see the importance of bioethics and started the beginning of bioethics from a long time ago. As we can talk, and all of you, you know about the Hippocratic Oath, that every doctor now who is going through medical school, they has to do this Hippocratic Oath, and we have this Hippocratic Oath for centuries. And it's very relevant and it's very important because it shows us how the medicine going through development through the centuries, but even during this development of the medicine technology and during the development of the entire earth, we have some essential and objective value as a human life and human health, and also the life as individual life and the community life. And this is, it's really very important to take bioethics from this conception, from this this side. Also, I would like to include, it's not, it's very important how the Christian tradition has impact on the bioethics, because from the first century, we can, and even with the Old Testament, New Testament, I wouldn't go so much and deep in theology, but we can see that how the Bible and Christian tradition implement the value of the person, the value of the belief system, the value of the moral law, natural law, that it was already implemented in the heart of every person from the beginning of the life. And this is implementation of the natural law. It's so strong that we, during the centuries, we try to proclaim and we try to protect the human life in different perspectives. And also, I would like to mention here that Christian tradition, by the teaching, has been involved and implemented a lot of moral standards, but also when the Christian church when they built and when they established the hospitals, and the first hospitals, it was like homes or centers when the people try to help pilgrims who've been going to the Holy Land, who've been going to different places. They try to help them, they try to support them, they try to really provide the medical needs. And it's not only medical needs, but also we can see in the history that has been provided emotional needs, spiritual needs, physical needs through the medical needs as well. Because if we will talk, and I'm going a little bit in ahead, when we will talk about hospice, palliative care, it has been established through these hospitals. The conception of the hospital, the hospice, has been established through these places when the people try to help all these pilgrims and different people who's been going through different lands, that they try to help them, they try to navigate them and support them. And also, I cannot leave this point as a Catholic teaching as well. And through the centuries, we have a lot and big, very good Catholic teaching experience. But I would like to mention, especially regarding the bioethics, very important topics, and some popes who who provide very important documents to us, that they are big guidance. They have a big guidance for us in this time, as I can talk about Pope Pio XII, Paul VI, John Paul II, all of them, and not only them, but all recent popes, they provide this teaching and support to give us the guidance and lights what is important and what we can do through the lens of ethical issue, and how the Catholic Church can teach and can have also the strong voice to provide the guidance for every person in the world. I would like to mention to you also the Nuremberg Code and the Nuremberg Tribunal that happened after World War II. That was also a very important step to develop bioethics, because as you all know, during the World War II, many countries, and specifically Nazis, they provided and they did a lot of research and experiments on human life, and a lot of this experiments has been immoral, unethical, unhuman. And after the Nuremberg Tribunal has been established, this Nuremberg Code, to protect the human life and to give a guidance, specific guidance to people who is going to do some research in medicine, and how this research and how this experiments supposed to be provided. And we will talk about different codes and different guidance later, but it was very important document that it has very strong impact on the development of bioethics. And we can talk about different situations that happened even after the World War II, as we can see now that it was provided some study with the drugs, how to treat syphilis versus with placenta pills without any consent, how it has been provided, also experiments in a Jewish hospital in Brooklyn on an elderly patient. They receive the tumor cells and they try to do this research to see that how these tumor cells will be developed and how they can treat the tumor and all this stuff. But we can talk about these cases for a long time. What I would like to mention to you, with the development of technology, the bioethics now started to be very important, because we can see from 1953 that we find out a DNI. 1944 we also started to do transplantation of organs, and also it was done on animals, and the first transplantation of human being, it happened in 1967. Also we see that the first artificial insemination happened in 1978, when the first human being has been born through this technique. And this is what happened in late 20th centuries. Now we are in the beginning of 21st centuries, and definitely we can do with all our technology much more. And this is a big reason why we need to have the strong bioethics conception and principles. With all these cases that I provided to you, I wanted to mention another declaration. It's a Helsinki Declaration on a clinical experimentation that is also brings some clearance how to do do experimentation and how to do some research. And you also see that like, this declaration has been established in 1964. But we can talk about how bioethics established and what is bioethics means for a long time. I would like really to take you and jump with you and see different models of bioethics. And really, when we are talking about bioethics now in this contemporary time, we take in consideration stem cells, clonation, artificial fecundation, embryo stem cells. We take in consideration transplantation of organs from the same forms or from artificial parts of the body or from different even forms, different lives. We can also talk about abortion and euthanasia, assisted suicide, etc. It's now the topics, they're growing very fast and in very critical condition. And when we are talking about, when we can start and talk about bioethics models, I would like to mention only a couple words about Hume. And he mentioned something that it's very important and till now has some consequences in contemporary view of the world, contemporary view of the ethics and moral condition. And as he establishes this empiristic theory of the mind, he said that like reason alone cannot be motive to the will, but rather is the slave of the passion. What I would say and how I would put probably in a couple words about Hume, he said that that the human law state that there is a great divide between the two realms of natural facts and moral values. Facts are knowledgeable, can be described with verbs and indicate mood, and can be proved scientifically. Whereas values and moral norms are simply supposition giving rise and prescriptive judgments that cannot be proved. In this situation, he is telling to the world that moral norms cannot be justified, cannot be proved, and cannot be taken in consideration. But definitely, I would disagree with Hume that we can talk about ontological perspective and also transcendental perspective of the human life and human being. In this perspective, we can definitely find the moral norms has a big value and can be proved, and because his law or like his statement, it lead us to relativism that we cannot proclaim any moral norms to the society. It will be more like individual behavior of every person and cannot be objective. It's only subjective way. But we will come back to the Hume a little bit later as we're going to discuss different models, because Hume also his theory helped to start utilitarian model of bioethics and has a particular impact on a different other different models of bioethics. And talking about different models, let's begin with a socio-biological model of bioethics, and this model has been viewed and presented by Darwin, by Weber, by different people as well. And this model, what tells us this model? That the human being has been presented as a part of the earth in total, and the man or the human being has no bigger value as another lives in the earth. It means that they take in consideration that human life has the same value as animal life, as environmental life of tree, herbs, flowers. Every life, they presented that every life they're going through mutation and adaptation. And really, what is ethical norms in this conception? They mentioned that ethical norm in this conception is equilibrium. Equilibrium that brings this equilibrium through all these different life forms, and permit this equilibrium to develop through mutation, adaptation, evaluation. This is what is tells us, if we are taking consideration this model, and why I would like to present these different models of bioethics, because it's very important, it's very interesting. If you use any of these models, your point of view and your ethical judgment will be different. And by one model, some situation has been permitted, by another model has not. And I will come to the, in my conclusion and in my presentation, I will come to the model, what the Catholic Church established and what the Catholic Church is presenting, and as a model for every Christian regarding the importance and the value of the human being and society in total. Coming back to our sociobiological model, I would like to mention that in this model, what is most important for them? The most important point is the equilibrium, and everything what helps to develop this equilibrium, everything what is developed this adaptation and mutation, it ethically permitted. For example, if we are talking about eugenic point of view, that we can take eugenic and we can modify the human being or modify another life forms to develop them in a better adaptive situation, in a better adaptive form, it will be ethically permitted. And it tells us, for example, if we are taking consideration artificial insemination, we can manipulate with chromosomes and DNA of the person to modify the human being to be adapted and to be better equipped for this life. And this is what this model is telling us. Plus, if, for example, if one individual has to be sacrificed for this common good, it will be not any ethical issue to sacrifice this individual. For example, if you take into consideration that one person has a 4th stage of cancer, and this person will be considered as a bigger burden for the society and wouldn't have any influence to this equilibrium, that to provide euthanasia to this person, it will be legal and ethically permitted, and it will be the act of the necessary to do that. This is what tells us this socio-biological model. Let's move on and let's discuss another model. It's a subjectivist model. Subjectivist model, also from another word, we can talk about subjectivist model as individualist model. And this model takes in consideration only person itself and what is important to the person. It will be view and consider as more subjective point of moral norms to every individual, to each individual. And this model tells us that what is the most important? Most important, it's an autonomous choice of every individual. It's a liberal society, and freedom belongs only to a person who is capable to exercising it. And only this model takes some limit, like put some limits when someone else freedom is in danger. For example, if I would like to commit suicide and I'm going to be a driver of the bus, and I have a lot of people in the bus, and I wanted to do some accident and commit suicide. It will be illegal for me or unethical for me to do this, because in this case, all these people will be harmed by my choice. But if I would like to commit suicide, it's my choice, and it's will be completely legal and ethically permitted to do this, because I decide by myself, and I'm not going to harm another people that I can do it. This model, it's has some dangers in the way, because everything can be permitted, everything what is your own choice. The autonomy of this model is the primary principle, and your freedom to do this, it's so important that you can do everything what is morally permitted for you, for your subjective view. In this situation, that abortion will be permitted, it will be permitted artificial insemination, extracorporeal, intracorporeal insemination, it will be permitted euthanasia, everything what can you do for yourself. Only, as I will repeat myself, only it's not permitted the act that can harm the freedom or can harm another person, another human being. And also this model, what is important that when we are talking about these models, we also taking in consideration that not all of these models see every human being as a person. And this is very important in our ethical judgment, because when you are talking about some human being as a person, it's mean legally and ethically, morally, this person has some rights. And also these rights are protected by society, by law, by community, and etc. And when you taking in consideration these models, and some of these models doesn't see some of human being as a person, it means these people, they are not protected. For example, if we are taking in consideration this model, they don't see the fetus, embryo, as a person. And it means that like this embryo is not protected and doesn't have, when somebody is doing abortion, it has no responsibility for that, and it's a private choice. It's only subjective and individual choice, individual freedom to do that. If we are talking about also euthanasia, for example, that it's also for if we are taking consideration, for example, the handicapped person who cannot make a decision, or even the person who is in a vegetable state, they don't consider this human as a person, because in this condition, in this situation, they cannot be provided with all rights and protection of all rights. I think we have a couple more minutes, and I think it's completely fine. We will finish these models next time, but I would like to take another model at least today and see if maybe you have some question that we can have at least couple moments to go through question as well, that we will try to do this every time. Another model that I would like to make to take in consideration the pragmatic utilitarian model. What is interesting in this model that in the previous models that we in subjectivist model we talk about importance of one individual. In this pragmatic utilitarian model we are talking about how the society and community very important, and in this case you see also here on the slide that Hume he had very big influence on this model, because how also he was talking about moral norms. This model, it takes into consideration cost-benefit analysis and quality adjusted life years. And we can talk also about different people who's been involved and developed also some branches of this model, like neo-utilitarianism, and we can talk about Jeremy Bentham. Also, we can talk about Mill, John Stuart Mill, and etc. All of them, they really bring to the attention that the most important thing that we have to take in consideration is the benefit to the society, to the biggest group. If the cost, they can take in consideration the pleasure, to maximize pleasure, to minimize cost, and to take in consideration the quality life years. For example, what is this means? If we will, if you talk about the person who had cancer and 4th stage of cancer, that mean that this person probably has by medical team, this person has maybe like 2 years or 4 years to live. This is, it will be the quality of the years, life years. The cost of his life during these 2 or 4 years, it will be very expensive, because this person will go through chemotherapy, through radiation, through different kind of treatments and tests that has to be provided to this person to prolong his life. And the cost, it will be very expensive, and the pleasure, it will be minimum, because this person probably is going to suffer, is going to go through some pain, pain like physical pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain. This person will be most likely in the hospital for the long time, and wouldn't be able to see the family or friends to spend this time. The quality of the life will be considered as a very poor quality of the life. And in this situation, this model tells us that this person doesn't have to be provided with chemotherapy, radiation, and all this stuff, because for the greatest good of the society, it will be morally permitted to let this person die as soon as possible and don't prolong his life, because it will be the burden for the society. Because if you're talking, for example, of the society, like American society, it means that the cost of the his or her life, it will be on the insurance company, or maybe that, like, if the person doesn't have insurance, it will go to hospital where the person is, or to the government, and this is it. Bill will be paid by this this community, of the government community, of the hospital community. And in this situation, this model tells us that we also cannot consider every person, every human being as a person, because they ignoring this model, ignoring the need to safeguard the interest of insane individuals, such as embryo or individuals in the vegetable state. They don't see. Also, this model doesn't see the human life who is handicapped, who has malformation, who is dying, etc., as a person as well, and also can justify legal abortion even in the early gestation stage or in the middle of the gestation stage, can provide also any kind of reducing suffering as euthanasia or assisted suicide to these individuals. And this model doesn't see this human being as a person, because they cannot contribute to the society, but they're using the cost of the society to prolong the life that doesn't consider by society as a pleasure life. I think that we are coming to the Fatherman, how we are with our time.
Okay, we start second lecture in 15 minutes.
Okay.
If you would like to continue, you can do it.
Okay, I would probably, because I have probably a couple more, it will be 3 more models. And the last model of bioethics, it will be Catholic model of bioethics that name personalism. I will do this, it will be very briefly, I will do these models next time, but right now I would like to ask all of you if you have any question or anything that like it will be, you would like to ask and you would like to share today.
I do. You said you're a chaplain in Maryland, I believe it is as close to DC. As a hospital ever try to influence you on your advice? You know, like saying, you know, this is going to be cost to the hospital. They ever asked you to go against your beliefs and give faulty advice to benefit the hospital or stuff like that?
Thank you. It's a very good question. Yes, I had some kind of this situation, maybe not exactly this, but as I've been here as a chaplain for 6 years, I am already in the ethics committee for entire system for 4 years, and I am part of the ethics committee in my hospital from last year. What's happened? I really found that I work in the Adventist health system, and they based on the Adventist doctrines, and we have some differences, I would say, in this way. Even that, like, I really like how they help and how they build the healthcare system, how they try to help people, how they do this. They do a really great job. And like we do have 4 big Adventist health systems in the United States. What is challenging for me? It was, and it's still, as Adventist church, they are new church that like they have in history for they've been around for 200 years, and they don't have developed very good ethical principles based on what they can really make this consideration and make this recommendation when it's needed. This is what was my challenge, and they know me that like I challenge them as well, because I am telling them, you have to establish your principles. You have to establish your principles and you have to develop these principles. They are using the model of Beckham and Children's principialist model. It's like all America uses this model. We will talk about this model for next time, but like it's like briefly, it's a benefits, not maleficence, autonomy and justice. And I like this model. Only the challenge of this model that it's this model doesn't have a hierarchy, and a lot of the time of the autonomy of the person doesn't have some limits. And this autonomy can really be challenged and can be taken consideration in a different perspective, to stop the life, to prolong the suffering, or etc. And when I was part of the ethics committee, when like we discussed different case scenario, that one, it was my challenge, because depending on the subjective ethical view, the doctor, medical staff, or anybody who was present in that committee try to lead the committee in the way that it even sometimes goes against of Adventist doctrines. You know, and it was a challenge, and only that I can say because of the pandemic, I was able to work with our lead of ethics department, and we develop very general, but I would say it's very good principles. We develop our own principles for the hospital. It's not for the entire system, but at least it's like for the hospital, some guidance, principle guidance for the hospital that helps us now to provide the right help and recommendation in a difficult situation. But yeah, it was a challenging, and what I would say the biggest one that because Adventist Church, they don't have the very good established principles, because also they are growing, and this is what was my also challenge. Do you have any other questions?
What is going to be the assignment for this class?
Simon,
what is the assignment for this class at the end?
And the end. Telling you true, now I have in my mind 2 options. That like I was thinking to do the test, or I was thinking, and really this is what I think to do. I would like to present a case presentation to all of you, and you can review the case presentation and write your ethical advice and ethical recommendation based on the all these principles and based on the course that we are going to do. This is, I think that I will do that.
Could you share eventually those principles that you developed for your hospital?
Yeah, I can, definitely. I didn't include them to my presentation, but I will, for the next time, I will include, and I will briefly introduce you to those principles.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will do it. Thank you for that. Okay, do you have any other questions?
Yes, I do. Actually, it's probably a short comment regarding bioethics and these 4 sub areas: medical, research, environmental, and public. I would like to mention probably one 5th area. It's about artificial intelligence, and a very simple example: when we have autopiloting cars, and in some critical situation, what should car behave if we have 2 options? Yes, to kill one person or another person. And in real life right now, when in this emergency, the decision is made by the person who is behind the wheel, the driver, and usually it's an unconscious decision. But in this, when we move to the artificial intelligence and will all this technology loaded in these cars, this decision should be made by programmers very, very consciously. So, and I believe with all the development of all the technologies, we will have quite a lot of these moral questions and moral issues, bioethics. So, yeah, it's just comment. But I agree that many questions. So probably in bioethics, we should include these aspects as well, probably in the future. Yeah, thank you.
Bron, thank you so much. And I agree with you completely. And it's included already. So far, I didn't plan to include to the course. Maybe that like we can talk about some of this issue during a presentation and during some situation, because I agree with you that it's good to have technology. And it's good to use technology, but also technology in the some point, as you mentioned about artificial intelligence, when artificial intelligence started to make a choice, and this choice can do something with the human life, with the human health, with all this stuff, it will be challenging. It will be challenging. And here we can talk that I agree with you about the machine and autopilot, but like it's like we definitely can, because like we have a lot of robots already who are in our lives, and in a different countries they implemented in a different levels of the human life. And nanotechnology, that like it's a big part of the bioethics discussion. It's a nanotechnology, because nanotechnology also that like how is developed by mini robots that can also be helpful and benefit in the healthcare structure, but also what kind of risk we have in using this nanotechnology as well. And I agree with you that like we can talk about this. And please, if you have some cases, you have some, because I have we do have like 5 hours. 5 hours is not enough, and unfortunately it's not enough to talk about all this stuff. But if you have some kind of cases that you found in the internet, wherever, bring to attention that I will try to spend some time and we can discuss about these cases, and I will do my best to provide what will be the ethical guidance regarding the Catholic Church, as we are talking about the Catholic Church and the guidance and ethical principles from the Catholic Church. I would tell you what will be the guidance from Catholic Church, and at least you will have the understanding, and also you will be equipped to have a critical thinking. This is probably the biggest wish, that every one of us, we will have the critical thinking, using these principles in the right way to promote the life and to defend the life in all this situation. Because we will go through challenges moment all the time. This is, we cannot avoid this. Definitely, we cannot avoid this. And I don't think, my perspective, we don't have to avoid this, because this is how the human life and the human society develop itself, but we have to know how to respond in a proper way. But thank you so much. I see in the comment that how much biology do we have to know as a prerequisite? No, for this course, it's not necessary. All stuff, if you have the knowledge, it's great. If you don't have, it's completely fine. I will provide to you as much information as I can, what will be necessary for you, and also what will be important, and what terminology will be important for you using this course. I thank you for the research, and I will text you, I will message on this, it's not number, but I will message you. And the third one, case study as a debate, it's a good point. Let's do this. I will think about this. I really like you to write something, to write your comment. It will be your personal comment. We can do probably debate we can preserve some time, and I can probably make this suggestion that I can give you the case study a little bit in advance, that you can go through this case study, make your comments, and send me back, and on the last lesson we can do this debate as well. I will think about this, how it can be incorporated, and how it will be practical. Okay, do you have any other questions at this moment?
Type your email, please.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry?
Email.
Oh, I will text, I will text you right now in the group. That my email address. You can contact with me anytime. I can tell you from the beginning, it takes me a little bit of the time to respond. Please don't take personally if I wouldn't respond right away, but I will do my best to respond to you as soon as possible. I texted you my email and my phone number, that you can through my phone number you can find me in a Messenger or in a Viber, wherever app you use, that you can find me as well, and you can text me in a private, or you can mail me. It's completely fine with me. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. I'm really glad, and I like our group. It's really interesting already, and I hope it will be interesting for everyone. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you all the time, and go through this journey with you.
Okay, see you tomorrow at 5 p.m.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, дякую.
If you could post the assignment.
Okay, thank you. God bless all of you. We have to start Ukrainian session.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.
Take care.
Father Roman, do I have to disconnect?
Я в це виключу, зараз другу включаю. Це друге посилання ми зараз будемо включати.
Добренько, я, значить, переходжу на друге посилання. Дякую.